Welcome to Comcast Newsmakers. Thank you for tuning into the program. I'm Steve Mumm. We are on the beautiful Eastern Washington University campus. Association of Washington Cities meeting here. Education is the focus. School's out. I'm just figuring out that doesn't mean we're done with school. There's a whole lot more. Janet Schmidt with the Schools Out Washington program is here to tell us about it.
Thank you so much.
School's out, but you're talking about what do kids do before, after, summertime, because apparently those are times they can get into all sorts of hijinks or great things can happen.
Both, and we want to promote the great things happening. So yes, it's anytime they're not in school. And I think what a lot of people don't realize is that kids are only in school 20% of their waking hours. So how they spend that other 80% is really critical to their development.
Huge influence.
Huge influence.
And now with the Association of Washington Cities here, you've corralled a whole bunch of municipal leaders in one place, and you're having them not reinvent the wheel of how to do a good out-of-school program.
Right. Well, what we're trying to really do is set the stage for them to kind of figure out what is their role as a municipal leader, because it may not be running a program, but it may be convening leaders. It may be accessing public dollars. There's a whole lot of ways, but I think what municipal leaders don't get a chance to do is really sit and talk to one another, hear what's going on, and then we brought in some people from workforce development to talk about the employer aspect. We brought in some people to talk about quality, so they know what quality programs are. So our role was just to kind of provide them some information and a setting to have this great conversation.
And they're hearing from people who have had real successes with this and are doing things that other people would like to follow in those successful programs.
Right. And really looking at, for these smaller communities, we had Odessa, we had Lind, we had Liberty Lake, all of these small communities. It's a very different kind of conversation than Spokane, Seattle, Federal Way, or some of those larger cities. So just
and they may have somewhat
resources.
Different issues.
They probably do.
Let's talk about some education that may be taking place here. And I've talked with a lot of educators in conjunction with this, and they say, municipal leaders have a lot on their minds. Public safety, police, fire, making sure that the potholes don't swallow our cars as we drive down the street. Is it a little tough sometimes for education to get a seat at that table for that conversation?
Well, I think it is, and I think it's also tough because most municipal leaders don't have any control over that budget or those buildings or those the people who work there. But what they do is they want to have a healthy community, and that's what these city leaders are all really here for, is they want to have a great, vibrant community. And they know that for a community to be vibrant, they have to have good places for kids to go and good things for families to do. So I think that makes the sell a little bit easier. I think after school and youth development programs also really can connect businesses and community organizations to cities. So I think it's creating that nice circle of everybody coming together.
And as I've talked with educators in conjunction with the meeting, they've all said the same thing, that they're seeking partnerships in their community. They're saying, we can't do it all. We've got some of the engineering folks coming in from some of the firms in town, working on the robotics program, bringing something great to the table. We've got another community organization bringing in volunteers to read with kids. And they're saying, we not only don't want to do it alone, but we can't. So something you said earlier just fascinated me when employers talk about workforce development, and I apologize we don't have a lot of time for this, but saying when kids come out of school to them, they don't always have the skills that they need, and they talk about they're well educated, but the soft skills. Talk about those.
So those communication skills, problem solving, teamwork, how to go and ask someone even a question. A lot of times they're coming out of school and they don't have those skills, and they haven't had a chance to practice them. And that's where really after school and youth development programs really shine, is in that arena, is giving kids a place to practice to fail, but to fail in a very safe way. So I think that's where they really excel. And these are what employers want. They want to have kids have skills.
And you're talking about teamwork, communication, problem solving, because I work, I'm friends with some people who have younger people in their organizations, and they will say, don't call me or don't come talk to me, text me. It makes them crazy. But these kids do have a different way. They've grown up with social media and a different way of communicating.
Yes.
And we're out of time, but thank you so much for all your great insights and help today. Thank you for tuning in. CNN Headline News, top of the hour.